Well, good morning. It's been a while since I posted a video, but thought we'd bring an update. I know a lot of people have been talking about it, and a couple of people have been subscribing to the YouTube channel. So kind of want to catch up. You know, work happens, life happens. We've had a couple of freezes here in Texas, which we don't ever have, and it was pretty rough down here for us. A lot of things went on. We lost some power and things like that. So let's get to it. I'm gonna give you an update and show you what we've been doing. So the first thing I want to show you this morning is the front door. The front door, we've been kind of tossing it up back and forth, looking at different videos. I don't care too much for the RV style front door, so I wanted to keep the original look of the bus with the bifold doors, but I didn't want it bifold because it doesn't seal well. So what we did is we made this door rigid. It's just one big swinging door. So what we've done on the inside here is just for temporary right now until I get everything fitted, is we put a 2-inch wide flat bar across the middle. This keeps this center hinge fixed. So I've taken off the automatic bus door thingy right here. So I had to take some measurements. You have to take some of the gaskets off from the old bifold door, and what you end up with is about 2.5 inches, 2 3/4 of an inch of gap here on the side. Right here. So there's about 2.5 inch gap between the frame and the door. So I've got a good friend here in town who owns a machine shop, and he deals in structural tubing. So I got this 2.5 inch piece of structural tubing. It's a 3/16 of an inch thick, and that is absolutely perfect between the door lip and the frame. So what we've done here is attach this so that it will fit on this lip right here, so I can put seals on this door frame, and when you shut it, it'll actually fit in that groove, and it pops right in there. So it'll fit and it seals. So we're going to do a little bit of work this afternoon, and I'm going to do some sanding here, and I'm going to do some Bondo work here, so this looks like one piece of metal all the way across. And then up here at the top, of course the top is not 2.5 inches, you only have a 1 inch, exactly a 1 inch gap. And what I had to do was put a piece of 1 inch by 1 inch aluminum up there. So if you look, it looks like some awful big holes in there, right? So this side over here is opened up a bit so that I can get a 1/2 inch socket in there to tighten up the bolts. The hole on the other side is 5/16, and I used 5/16 bolts to bolt it all in, and it is solid as a rock. It's just like part of the steel. Okay, so feel good about that. It's solid all the way down. We've also got out here and removed all the rubber from the steps, so that we can go in. I have some aluminum diamond plate, polished aluminum diamond plate, that I'm going to go in and put in this area along with some wood accents, so that the entranceway will look really, really nice when you come into it. So that's pretty much about the door. I'll give you some more tips on it after we do the Bondo and the paint on that one. So I'm going to move down the bus here a little bit, and we're going to talk about the lighting that we've been working on here during the winter months while it's cold. So we ended up with some of these clearance lights right here from Amazon. I really, really like these lights. I think you get like 20 or 25 of them to a pack, and it's like 20 bucks. So they worked real good. They're very, very bright. We did, when we mounted them, is we put a small 1/2 inch strip by probably a 2 inch strip of butyl tape behind this, and then screwed everything in. Of course, it has external grounds on it, so everything's grounded good. It's also sealed, water resistant. Okay. If you look at the top of the bus, we use the same type of clearance lights at the top, also with the butyl tape on the back, and they look really, really nice. So while we're back here at this point, you'll see one of the windows out here. I've got some sheet metal being cut today and bent that actually takes up the same dimensions as the window that came out of it. So it should be just a pop and go type of installation. It'll fit right in here. And when I do the door, do the painting on the door and everything, I'll also paint these at the same time. So this will look like one solid sheet across here. And still keep my pillars in place and everything. So I want to keep the original, as much original as I could, not only for structural purposes, but also aesthetics also. So both of these windows will come out on both sides. One for the bathroom, this side for the shower. We'll blake these off. Also, there's going to be a cabinet refrigerator right here, so we don't want that showing outside. So you'll look at the windows here. We did some window tinting on this side. It's a tint that I'm pretty familiar with, and I really like it. Instead of having the ink type tint, this is actually a ceramic type tint. So the thicker the ceramic that's in the tint, the darker it becomes. So this is a 35% ceramic tint. Temperature differential on both sides is about 12 degrees. So I think this will add to some of those Texas summers to keep some of that heat out. Also, if you look at the top, we've talked about it a little bit before. That is just a white elastomeric paint. However, it does have ceramic mixed in with it. It's a real good product. A local roofing company here in town, Hawk Roofing, helped us out with that, and it'll actually allow the paint to expand with the roof and the heat and the cold, things like that. So I think a combination between insulation, the ceramic tint, and the ceramic on the roof will help us keep this bus cool, and hopefully if we ever do take a trip and get up in the winter climates when it's a little bit cooler, maybe up in the hills and mountains, we'll see how the heat situation works out. But for us down here right now, the way we want to travel, it's going to be in the Texas summer heat most of the time until we get situated and we start doing this a little bit more often. So we've only talked about this 100 times before, but we added in the toolboxes in the back. We also added some on the other side. Those are going to be a real handy tool to have. So I'll meet you in the front. I'll talk to you a little bit more about the lights that we put in, and all right, guys, so I will meet you at the front of the bus. Did some rigging up here in the front. We wanted to have some lights. I wanted to be able to see. Of course, you can't have the wig wags on your bus. So we did some rewiring. Took a little bit to figure out, but it wasn't too difficult. So if you look up here at the top, in the center, is part of the wig wag system where you see the two clear lenses. The two clear lenses now, those lights stay on when I turn the switch on all the time. And so the diffuser lens that I put on there makes for a really nice bright light here in the front for a floodlight if you're pulling into a campground, things like that. The two outer ones were also part of the wig wag, but now they are on demand when they're hooked to the blinkers. So when I turn my left blinker on, the top light at the top will blink, and also my normal blinker that sits right in here will also blink. So I have a high and a low position blinker so everybody can see what's going on. So I'm really pleased with it. We looked at it at night, and man, it really opens up the front end and gives me some extra light. So when I'm pulling into a campground or into a BLM land or somewhere that's dark, there's no lights or anything, I will light it up when I pull in there. So let's move around to the corner here. I'll show you a little bit of the wiring box that a lot of y'all are familiar with. Only thing I can tell you is when you're doing this kind of wiring, on these older buses it's kind of easy because there's not a lot of wiring. Everything's pretty much mechanical. But get you a label maker, get you a piece of tape, mark those things really good. It just makes it a lot easier to keep up with. So let's move over here to the other side real quick. So hopefully the lighting will help out and everything can focus in. So you can see we haven't done a whole lot. It looks pretty much factory. However, there's a few wires here. You can see my labels on here to show where I've hooked things up. And this was all part of that blinkers on the top half and also the floodlighting. The wig wag system here is still in place, but doesn't have all the wires hooked up to it. I'll probably end up moving that out because I need some more real estate in here to hook up circuit breakers and things like that. But good labeling. You can trace out your wiring. It helps to have a buddy. I know me and Quincy work together pretty good, and we started tracing these wires and hooking them up and labeling them as we went. So we had to do a little bit of movement here, and you also have to do a little bit of movement on the inside, hooking wires up parallel right and left. So pretty good deal. Okay guys, that's just a quick tour. I know it's been a while since I've done a video, but I just wanted to kind of update you on where we're at. We haven't given up. There's a couple of times during some of these jobs that I wanted to quit and not do it, feet hurting, knees hurting, whatever. But it takes a lot of work. If you want something to look right, it's going to take a lot of work. Don't give up. Measure your successes little bits at a time. So as soon as you accomplish a job or a task, celebrate that for a little bit and then move on to the next task. And before you know it, you'll have a completed RV that's ready to go down the road. So we'll post another video here shortly. I'm going to do some sanding and some primer and some Bondo through here, and we'll try to get some pictures of that. And if you have any questions about how we did this door, write a comment in the bottom and I will try to answer your questions. And this was a very easy project to do, but we'll have another video coming up soon, and I'll catch you on the next video. Till then, take care.